أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nuruddin Lemu, a director with the Da'wah Institute of Nigeria. And inshallah, we're going to carry on in this episode of dealing with the whole series actually that deals with self-improvement, tazkiyatun nafs, mataratul qulub, the purification of the heart, self-improvement, trying to be better human beings, and most importantly, better Muslims and submitters, people who want to get closer to their Creator, Allah. We've been discussing various diseases of the heart, but we focused on 5 major ones that seem to be most common when it comes to interpersonal relationships with others. We've looked about this attitude, and the other thing about these 5 is not just interpersonal relationship, but these are those that undermine our ability to grow as human beings. In many cases, these 5 seem to keep repeating themselves in human growth as obstacles, as impediments to our ability to grow as human beings, as leaders, as Khalifas of Allah, vicegerent representatives of Allah, and as influential people in our own lives and in the lives of the community as we try to be better and do better. These 5 are basically the problem that's associated with heedlessness, of heedlessness of I don't care, I don't know, I don't want to know, it's not worth knowing, I'm right, you are wrong, and not being adequately humble or intellectually curious to see why the more knowledge we can have, the more humble we can become, the more curious, the more limited we appreciate we actually are. The other disease and problem of the heart is that of showcasing the gifts that Allah has given us, our beauty, our strength, our wealth, and especially our intellectual prowess, showcasing brilliance, showcasing brain, showcasing knowledge, showcasing intelligence, showcasing wisdom. The other one that is common is that to do with defensiveness, of always being right, of coming up with excuses for not just saying, sorry, I was wrong, of always trying to believe that we are perfect when we know we are not, and trying to act as if we are perfect, instead of embracing our mistakes and recognizing our mistakes that others show us as opportunities and huge avenues for growth and self-improvement. The other problem we discussed is that of being comparative, always comparing ourselves with others and feeling bad about ourselves. And what do we want? We seem to have no direction other than what do others want, and that starts to make us feel Allah has not been merciful, Allah has not been gracious enough to us. The other problem we have is that of just seeking acceptance of others at the expense of Allah being pleased with us, of seeking to please others, of always trying to blend in what will others say, what do others think, as being the new idol that we worship. We're always concerned about what do others think, what are people saying about us now, and based on that you change strategy, you change. If you recall in a common fable, one of Aesop's fable, the man and his son, farmer, coming from the farm, and they were going with a donkey, the two of them, and they reach a village and somebody is accusing them, how can you people be moving around and nobody is climbing the donkey? Somebody should climb the donkey. What kind of a waste of resource is that? All right, to avoid criticism, let the boy climb the donkey. And they carry on. Why? Well, what will people say? They were fine before anybody started criticizing them. It's their legs, it's their donkey, they're the ones who are having a nice time walking. But no, so that people stop disturbing, all right, let the son climb the donkey. They get to the next village and people are insulting, look at this useless boy climbing the donkey. What kind of a father are you? You're going to spoil him. To please everybody? All right, get off the donkey, let me climb the donkey. They get to the next village. What a very inconsiderate dad. Is that how you are teaching your children? Is this the way you want the generations to be, to start looking at the older generation as being uncaring? So he got off and they said, so what should we do now? Okay, let's both climb the donkey. And they get to the next village. And they find animal rights type of mentality. Hey, wicked people. Look at the way they are treating what Allah has given them. No concern for other creatures. Big bullies. Oh, you don't pity the donkey. Shouldn't you people be, walking? In fact, you should be carrying the donkey. When you think of all the time that the donkey has been lifting either you or the other, and now both of you are climbing the donkey. No. If you don't climb, problem. You climb, problem. I climb, problem. We both climb, problem. Let us carry the donkey. And you get this type of thing where because you have not resolved what you want, you just want to seek what will please others instead of what's your direction in life, what qibla are you facing, and you go ahead. And what are some of the cures for these diseases of the heart, these weaknesses in our character that lead to many other weaknesses and misbehavior on our side and stifle and frustrate our ability to grow as good human beings, good Muslims, citizens, family members? One cure is to try and be more humble. And we discussed humility at length in some of the earlier episodes, but just to recap very quickly, humility is that quality that rivers show us when they keep flowing to the sea. As the Chinese say, that the sea is able to attract all the rivers and springs and streams in its direction. All rivers flow to the sea. Why? Because of the humility of the sea. That's why they love the sea. You would have thought that the sea has enough water to feed the rivers, but they continue to flow to the sea. And they avoid the mountain. Why? Because of arrogance. The mountain wants to be seen. The mountain wants to be recognized. And so even stones move away. Not just water. Stones, sand, everything moves away from the mountain. So let's look at and appreciate humility as actually a strength that attracts people towards you. And the Prophet was one of the most humble of human beings. The greatest, most impactful in human history. So it wasn't a lack of power, but humility in character. And so people loved him. People listened. People would submit. Why? Because of humility. Everybody flows in the direction of humility. At the same time, again, just for the purpose of a metaphor of what we've been talking about, humility is also the quality of a lion that allows a cat to climb it. Instead of like, I'm king of the jungle, I am this. No, he's got the power. And this tells us another thing about humility. Humility is not weakness. Humility is a choice. Humility is not what you are forced to do. You are forced to be humble. You're forced to cower. No, humility is the choice of a leader to recognize the contribution of another, to put another person where he feels this person is even more qualified than I am. Humility is the quality of the bamboo tree. The Chinese again have a saying that you should be like the bamboo. The higher it grows, the more it is able to bend. It is the short stick that is not flexible. But the longer a bamboo stick is, the easier it is to bend and bow. Humility is something that should actually make you more gracious. That the more knowledge you have, the more you know what you don't know, the more you appreciate in others. This takes us to the second critical virtue for overcoming our common weaknesses. Curiosity. The desire to learn, to be better. The desire to not be satisfied with your current status, but to seek improvement. To not think I'm good enough, but I'm trying to be good, but I'm not yet good enough. It's not to belittle what you are, alhamdulillah for what you are, but there's always room for improvement, and to deliberately create that room for improvement. And with all the good that Allah has given you, to be grateful. But when it comes to character refinement, to not look at it as, Alhamdulillah, I have enough. For dunya issues, to be able to say, I think I have enough money. I think I have enough power. I think I have enough. But when it comes to quality of character and how much good have I done, to seek to be better, to seek to do more, to not think I've given enough charity, but I've given what I can, but there's definitely room for improvement. I'm trying to be humble, but there's room for improvement. I'm trying to be knowledgeable. Not, I am very knowledgeable, but I still have a bit more to learn. No. Let people consider you the encyclopedia of your working environment, the polymath and the most knowledgeable person. You should know better than others how little you know compared to how much is there. Not compared to other people, but compared to how much knowledge is out there, how much knowledge you should have acquired. You should be embarrassed that you only know what you know. As knowledgeable as everybody tells you you are, you should be humbled by the fact that there is so much, and you, better than anybody else, should engage in constructive discontent. Constructive, so there's a positive reason, there's a positive aim, but discontent, dissatisfaction with your current level of knowledge, current level of humility, current level of generosity, current level of concern for others, current level of compassion, current level of wisdom, current level of anything positive. Have a level of constructive discontent with your current status. And try and compete with yourself in the doing and being of good or being better. Always look and have dissatisfaction with your current level of humility and knowledge and wisdom and sense of justice and sensitivity and ability to empathize. Always be constructive in your discontent. So it's not your discontent, I'm a terrible person. No, alhamdulillah, you're not terrible, you're good, but you have a lot of room for improvement. You have a lot of room for consultation. You have a lot of wisdom you still don't have that Allah has placed in people around you, people younger than you. People social culture may look down upon, that you really want to know more. That wisdom, knowledge, and Allah's blessings in the form of better ideas, Allah has actually placed in people who you very often don't want to listen to because this young person, this girl, this old man, what would they know? Curiosity is that desire to grow with the ni'mah and blessings that Allah has put in others that you want to acquire. Inshallah, when we come back from the break, we'll carry on this subject of curiosity. It is creating the vacuum that allows us to propel our growth as human beings and as servants of Allah. See you inshallah when we come back. Assalamu alaikum.